I'm here at the BB&T Center in Florida watching the Florida Panthers take on the Boston Bruins, and you're watching Post to Post.
Hello and welcome to Post, the channel where we discuss all things hockey and all teams. We're back for another report card video. This time it's the Florida Panthers, and there's lots to talk about with the Florida Panthers because it was a very interesting season. Pretty much the hottest team since the beginning of 2018. They almost climbed, or they almost went from bottom of the East into a playoff position in the matter of 3 months. Very impressive, very skilled team, very underrated team. And I want to talk about them a little bit here in this video. So as usual, if you haven't seen any of these previous report card videos, I put the stats on this side from last year, the stats on this side from this year. Anything in green is an improvement, anything in red is not. I'm going to go through everything with you. We're going to talk about some players, some goalies, and then some other topics I have listed. So let's go through the stats. League rank last year 23rd, this year 18th. Points last year 81, this year 94. Goals for last year 205, this year 241. And I want to know something real quick. I think I wrote these down before their last game of the season, so some of these might be a little different, just so you know. Goals for rank last year 23rd, goals for rank this year 15th. Goals against last year 231, this year 241. Goals against rank last year 20th, this year 18th. Differential last year was a -27, this year is just 0. Differential rank last year 23rd, this year 19th. On the power play, they were at 17% last year and 19.1% this year. And in that category, they were ranked 23rd last year, 21st this year. Last year, their penalty kill was 85.3%. This year, 80.3%. So last year, they were ranked actually second in the entire league. This year, 14th. Shots per game last year, 32.2. This year, 34.5. Last year, they were ranked third. This year, first. No team took more shots per game than Florida. Shots against per game, 31.6. This year, 34.5. Last year, ranked 23rd. This year, ranked 29th. So not only did they take the most shots per game on average this year, they had against them the most shots, like almost the most, 29th. Basically, they allowed the most shots against them, and they had the most shots towards the other team. It's a very strange thing to see there. That says a lot of things I'll get into later. Face-offs, 47.9% last year, 50.9% this year. Last year they ranked 25th, this year 10th. If we jump over to the players, Barkov, 78 points, Trocheck, 75, Huberdeau, 69, Dadonov, 64, Yandel, 55, Bukestad, 48, Ekblad, 38, McGinn, 28, Matheson, 27, McCann, 26, Sevier, 24, and Mulligan, 21. If we look at the top four in that category, so Barkov, Trocheck, Huberdeau, and Dadonov, goals, 27 for Barkov, 31 for Trocheck, 27 for Huberdeau, 27 for Dadonov. This is a team that can score goals. These are goal scorers. They know how to put the puck in the net. This is a dangerous team for sure. And then you have Yandel right there behind them with 47 assists. Very offensive defenseman. Good to see him up there. And then some other players to follow. If we jump to goalies, we've got Luongo, who played 34 games, 18 wins, 11 losses, 2.48 goals against average, .929 save percentage. So for a guy who is pretty old, still putting up some very impressive numbers. That's actually like, excuse me, that's actually pretty impressive to see. That's surprising to me actually. Alongside him was Reimer, who played 43 games, 21 wins, 14 losses, 3 goals against average, and a .912 save percentage. So Luongo actually had the better numbers than Reimer, but still fairly consistent goaltending in Florida. They're a tough team to play against. The most fighting majors of any team. I think Haley fought, it felt like every single game. I know he didn't, but that's what it felt like. It was unbelievable. Some games he fought twice. So the guy likes to fight. The guy likes to hit, and he's not a dirty player. he'll fight someone, and it's about the code, right? So you fight someone, you agree to a fight, you fight, and then you tap each other on the back and say, "Good fight, thanks for fighting." That's what hockey's all about. Is about, you know, it's a rough and tumble game. It's a hardcore, fast hitting game. You punch each other in the face sometimes, but at the end of the day, you pat each other on the back, and you're friends. That's what I love about hockey. Not a great neutral zone team. Like I said at the beginning, the most shots out of any shots per game out of any team. So they have the ability to break in the zone, the other team's zone, very easily. Of all the Florida games I watched, they're so quick in the neutral zone. They can break into that zone so easily, so fast up front in that top six. But then going the other way, they are not good at defending in that neutral zone. They let teams break in quite easily, and lots of shots against happens after that. I guess I have Luongo written down here, but I already talked about that. They're a great pucks cycling team in the offensive zone. There were times where I watched Florida this year, and it felt like 2 to 3 minutes that they were continuing to cycle the puck in the other team's zone, and while they were doing it, they were making line changes. Like one guy would go to the bench, and the other guy would come on. They would continue to cycle the puck, and then another guy would go. It was so impressive. And meanwhile, the other team, the four or five guys on there, they just couldn't get a line change in. It was remarkable. It was really special to watch at points. But then at the other end of the ice, it seemed like the same thing was happening to them sometimes. So I feel like they spend so much time working on their offense that they neglect some of their defensive skills as well. Do you guys think that? I was going to ask this question first, but I saved it until now because I want to talk about something else. Excuse me. Do you think there's karma because they fired Gerard Gallant? Because they got rid of him because he wasn't a statistics guy. He didn't want to play the statistics game that they wanted him to play. So they got rid of him, and they're still all about the statistics. But you know, I don't have to tell you where Gerard Gallant is and how well he's doing in Vegas. But I always felt like him leaving the team and how he left the team and the way that they let him go, I always felt it always left a bad taste in my mouth. I never liked how they did it. I feel like there's karma there. I don't even really believe in that stuff, but I have to say it. I think there's karma there. So obviously that's not the reason that they missed the playoffs, but I kind of feel like there's a bit of karma there. They're a few pieces away from being a deep team. They're a little slow in the back end. They're fast on the top six, a little slow on the bottom six. They remind me a lot of the 2013 Boston Bruins that won the Stanley Cup. They're physical. They're a little slow defensively, very impressive offensively when they want to be, very fast offensively, but a very tough team to play against. They're kind of on the cusp. I kind of see Florida and Calgary kind of in the same status on both sides of the league. I think that Florida is right there. They're a team that's coming up. They have a lot of crucial pieces in place. Barkov, Trocheck, Huberdeau, Ekblad. If they can get consistent goaltending out of Reimer, and obviously Luongo's not going to play forever. He's going to move on. If they can bring in another young, consistent goaltender, this is a team that's going to really contend over the next couple of years. And it's going to be exciting because with contention comes fans. And as we know, Florida's attendance is quite low. It's depressing to watch games on TV in Florida because of all the empty seats. It's really frustrating. As a Canadian, especially when you watch an American team arena be 75% empty, when there's a giant arena in Quebec that sells 15,000 seats per game for a Q game, a QMHL Q. a QMJHL game with the Quebec Rampart there. So a junior league getting basically twice as many bums and seats as the Florida Panthers do in the NHL. So it's very frustrating. With that said, I don't want to see Florida move. I like to see them have success. With success comes fans. Look at Tampa. They won a cup in 2004. Look at Nashville last year. The fan base absolutely exploded. Pittsburgh was in a very similar position in the 90s. Same with Chicago. Chicago always had a pretty big fan base, but financially they were pretty much bankrupt. So I don't want to see Florida move. I'd like to see them stay. I'd like to see them continue to be competitive. I suspect that Florida will be very competitive next year. And that whole Atlantic division, I think, will be pretty competitive for the next probably 5 years. There's a lot of important things happening in the Atlantic division with some teams. So I appreciate you guys watching this video, so thank you very much for sticking around. There's one team left to go as far as teams that didn't make the playoffs. That's St. Louis, so that'll be next. So thanks, guys, for watching. If you are new to this channel, hope you can hit the subscribe button down below. If you did like this video, please hit the like button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.